Like, and I'm not pulling for Ito either. I've wanted like a bigger, stronger dude in the game for a while because it's been so much focus on the waifus, and the only other guys that are in really in the game, you know. Let's look at the guys, right? Now I don't have Kazuha, but we already know what Kazuha is. You see that Rurouni Kenshin thing I got hanging on the wall? That's what Kazuha looks like as far as build, but shorter. He's shorter than Kenshin. So we've got that covered. I don't have him, but that's what he looks like. And I pretty much have the rest of them. Diluc's probably the closest to like an actual man. But like even still him, like, you know, he's Mondstadt Batman. But like even him, he's got like a, you know, he's got a strong build, but it's like average, you know. He's not really beefy. Diluc is probably the manliest character before Ito. This is before Ito, right? Diluc is probably the most manliest character in the man. He's the most manly man in the game. He comes across as like a, if you've watched Full Metal Alchemist, it's like a Mustang type character. The Colonel Mustang, was he a colonel? I forget his rank, but yeah, Mustang. Like he comes across as that kind of character, right? Or like Mondstadt Batman. But like he's not really like a brawny guy. He looks like he's in shape and stuff, and he's strong, a little strong, but he's not like, what's the word I'm looking for? He's not burly, you know? Like when you think of like a man, like out there chopping woods, being a lumberjack, or like, you know, a body build, like, you know, like he doesn't really fit that. Like, you know, Terry Crews, you know, like he's not like that, right? No facial hair. He's not really like big and bulky. But he's a guy, you know, he's a man. So, moving on. Venti, a lot of people thought was a chick. Okay, just okay. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but like he is probably the most feminine male character on the game. Okay, now we're gonna have to go a few seconds here before we can find another guy. Chong Yun, shonen main character vibes. So he's like a high school kid. Okay. Zhang Li. Once again, he's pretty manly in his demeanor, the way his voice sounds. But he has the build of like an anime high school teacher, you know? Which he's a god, so it doesn't really matter because he's still really powerful. But just his aesthetic, like he comes across as like.
Osmanthus wine tastes
we gotta stop
the same
talking.
as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
Yeah, like he comes across like he has the build of like you know, and the attitude stuff is like that attractive teacher in the animes that all the girl characters are like swooning over. Right? Okay, where's the next one? Child. Like a more grown shonen main character. So, you know, not really big. He's still in school, or it might be just a few years after school, but like, you know, not really physically imposing. And he has a very goofy personality, very laid back. Nothing wrong with that. There's just nothing that screams like guy about him, you know? Like he's a dude, you know, he's a man. Like there's nothing that, right? Kaya. He comes across as like the main character in a shonen's best friend or brother or something that ends up secretly being an enemy. Like, so similar build to them, but he's just ends up being on the bad side. Okay, Razor, Teenage Gohan. So another kind of shonen character. Zhang Wei. I never can figure out how to say his name. Okay, shonen main character, same thing. Bennett, shonen main character. Okay, those are all the guys. You're seeing a trend here. Just 1 second, because I haven't read your comment yet. I think Venti's appearance is because the body he copied may have been a female friend of his from way back. Yeah, that is possible, but in fact, probably likely. Just knowing the lore, but I'm still like, I'm not hating on any of these characters. What I'm getting at is there's a lot of diversity, but there's not really any representation for like a burly, strong dude. Like even every anime has like the brawny good guy character, you know? They have like the big stupid meathead, right? Like even Yu Yu Hakusho, you know, had like Kuwabara, who was more of a meathead, like a bigger guy, very masculine, right? Like Full Metal Alchemist, I forget his name, but the dude with the mustache and the one little hair, and he's like bald, but he's like really big and strong. My Hero Academia has All Might, you know, like there's these big, strong, masculine characters, and Genshin doesn't really have that. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because I like the idea of Ito, because he's finally one of those characters. But I'm just not really feeling it. I don't know. I don't really like his character. I don't know what it is. So it's nothing against Ito. I just don't really feel his character. But I do like the fact that they finally put in like a masculine character. Because so far it's been either all waifus, feminine dudes, or shonen anime main characters. Basically. Like, I'm kind of waiting for, I forget his name. The Grandmaster in Mondstadt. The one that, or the Grandmaster Nightcap, or the one that Jean is filling in for. Whenever he comes back, I have a feeling he'd probably be a playable character. And I will be so disappointed if he is not, like, one of those characters, basically. Like, the strongest looking character in the game. Like, just, he should be a tall, muscle-bound dude with, like, a beard like mine. Right? And, like, a really deep voice. And, like, a really deep sounding voice, but being playful. You know, like, being friendly and playful to those who are his allies. Like, that should be that should be how his character is. We'll wait for that. I didn't think we'd get one of those characters until then, so it was cool seeing Ito. I don't know. Like, there's just something about this guy that just doesn't sit right. I don't know. You know what it is? I think I know what it is. He looks like a big, strong guy, but it's his arms. His arms are noodles. They're so skinny, and it's so disproportionate with the rest of his body. I don't like that.